Hey guys, and welcome to another Polymer Clay tutorial. Today we are going to create the Ruin skin from Fortnite Season 8. You decided in the poll.
ClayClaim.
Let's get started with the Ruin skin. Well, you decided in the poll and I got many messages asking for this skin. Well, he looks badass, he looks really great. He reminded me of the Omega skin just a little bit, and maybe also to the Prisoner skin. Yeah, because of the glowing, the burning, I would not be surprised if both of them would have some kind of the same background story. In the final Season 8 story we are about to hear very soon. So let's just be prepared that they might be brothers. I didn't tell that you. Let's get started. This is the clay. I'm using this pearl black. You don't have to mix it, you can just buy this color. Or if you don't have any way to buy pearl black, you just take some regular black clay and throw in some glitter or some silver clay. It should also work pretty nice. Now the coating process. I did the wired armature and now, well, the coating with this pearl black. It is pretty simple on the one hand, but on the other hand, as I'm using a very soft clay, I am a bit afraid that I will destroy some of the details we are creating right now. So I try to be really careful, just starting the front of the creation, only focusing on some specific parts and not all the whole body, so that I can always pay attention to, let's say, his belly, or later the arms, or only the front side, and after that we will focus on the back side, for example. The front, all this armor he's wearing, is the most complicated part, as you probably have noticed. There are so many different layers, and it took me a while to figure out how many layers we are dealing with and how many layers I have to create and put together. And well, there are a lot of stripes. Especially what I'm creating right now, it looks like the connection part to the legs, but I'm not always 100% sure what I am currently creating. Yeah, we probably should talk about last week's video, the meme video we did. Some of you were quite confused by the style of the video. I thought it would be just funny to do this fast cutting and put all the memes together. And most of you also wrote that these are all dead memes, and well, this fault is on me, I think, because we just were looking for some classic memes which are funny, and I forgot that on YouTube most videos are about how popular something is right now. I don't say this is bad in general, but it's just the way it is. If you're talking about dead memes in a video, nobody wants to watch that. But if you are dealing with, let's say, modern memes or creating modern memes with clay, I think people you, the community, would have laughed at way more. So I think we will do part 2, where we will focus on some new memes like Ricardo, for example. Well, yeah, this is just one meme many of you wrote in the comments which they want to see. So which posture should we take for our ruin skin? I thought it would be nice that one of the arm is just hanging down like on the reference image, and the other one could point to the sky, maybe interacting with my hand in the thumbnail, for example. While creating, I always try to think about the thumbnail, and this is the very first image you see of my creations, and this is why I spend some extra time on the thinking process of what to show and if it looks interesting and all that stuff. It's not about clickbait, it's more like how to present one character. And well, while creating, I thought it would be funny if he could hold my finger with his left hand. Some more armor layers we are creating for the arms, also on the right side. And now we can start working on the hands and the fingers. This is always really tricky to create. I found it really helpful to do it this way. So just make the palm of the hands and then very thin strings for the fingers, because you tend to create the fingers a little bit too thick, always. When you compare some of my older creations, you will see that I improved there a lot. First I created them way too thick. Now I think they look more natural, like real gloves. But this is just a process of learning. On the shoulders there are also a lot of layers in this skin, and this is the part I like the most, because it just looks so interesting on this skin. I mean, look at all these pieces right next to his head. Just so interesting. Now on the legs, it's not the typical leg design for Fortnite skins in general. We talked about that in earlier videos, that there are some design parts which are repeating all over again for many skins. But this skin somehow looks very different to many other skins. Well, you have some skins which are using a lot of armor, but this one is quite new and unique, and I think this is the reason why people love this skin a lot. So these are the knee protection parts, which were really difficult to figure out how they are working. I couldn't get Fortnite to start. Normally I would use the 3D model in the game as reference, but this time I had some problems with the latest update. Still not figured out a way to deal with it. Maybe I should deinstall and install it again. I think this should solve the problem. So I'm not really up to date when it comes to the current events in Fortnite. I know that there is a lot things going on in Loot Lake, and that normally I am always doing the updates on Loot Lake, probably also this time, but well, I first have to figure out how Fortnite will run again on my Mac. Yeah, I'm playing it on the Mac. Maybe this is my bad, the problem. There are some thorns on the helmet, and we are ready to go into the oven. Freshly baked ruin skin! Let's remove the toilet paper and also the plate, so we can take our acrylic paint, yellow, orange and red. Yeah, maybe this was a bad idea. Just cleaning it up, and then we can start with the base layer for the color, which would be this red. Because all the glowing starts with the red, and the brighter colors go on top. So there's also some layer thinking we are doing while creating, and this is always helpful when you look at a very complex creation and don't know where to start. Just start with the base layers and with the very first forms which are underneath everything. Yeah, somehow I screwed up. There are some holes in the front of the armor. This always makes sense to design holes into armor. And we put some red acrylic paint inside as well. And after we finished all the spots with the red acrylic paint, I like these parts a lot, where you just use your finger to remove a little bit of the color of the acrylic paint. Now we take some orange for the eyes, for example, and also for the brighter spots on the arms, the front, the belly, the legs, and also some yellow for some special parts. That's the last working step on the ruin skin. And guys, I guess that's it! The ruin skin! Oh no, I ruined the presentation of the ruin skin.
I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial where we created me, the ruin skin. Look at me! Roar! Well, as Simon is not available, have a great weekend and take care, guys. Bye!